Welcome back, guys. Part 3 with Terrence Ruff Diesel. So before we get into the fun stuff, I think we have a few more business questions or something along like those lines that I think you could, like enlighten other trainers and other competitors about, I guess, like the business of bodybuilding and the business of being a coach and all that. So one of the things that we didn't, or we kind of like skipped over, is you have two coaches. How does payment work out with those guys? Like, you don't got to tell us how much you pay them, but do they charge you kind of like a flat rate, or do they get like a percentage like William Boponak's old coach?
I'll be honest, I don't pay either one. With Joe, it's more of a content type deal. So Joe doesn't compete anymore. So having someone like myself there kind of gives him a little bit more things to talk about and different things besides just what he would normally do with just himself. So he can talk about how to change stuff during the prep. He can say how to build up certain body parts that I'm lacking. Tons of stuff, and then I provide him content on top of that. And then with John, he just wanted to help. I reached out to him in August after my previous coach passed away, and I've known John like since 2014. Like I've been to his seminars every time I'm in town. So I want to say I've been to maybe four or five of his seminars, and he's just known me for a while, and I guess, I've always been a fan, I guess, and he's always thought I was a decent person. So
that's a crazy blessing, man.
But on top, it's funny. Like it's funny. I was telling someone the other day, like, yeah, it was free, but then the last time I had to fly up to Ohio to he wanted to do some content with me because that's part of it too. Like same thing. He wanted to, it's still like it's free, but
you're actually providing value to their businesses.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, and and I still had to fly my butt up to Ohio. That ticket cost $800, and I did the math. I was like, yo, that was the price of a prep. I want to say with him, it might have been, but it was pretty close to at least the price. But yeah, $800 to a flight up there at the time. So I was like, yeah, I end up paying for it some kind of way. Yeah,
that's not a bad arrangement at all, though. Shoot, I would love that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely nice. It's definitely nice. And yeah, and same thing with John. He uses he has like a thing on his website called In the Trenches, and where he talks about my prep with the people that pay for his site. So it's pretty much the same deal with both of them. So like he just kind of said, this is what we did. He has the progress photos. So it's literally, if you have his site, you've seen like my prep completely in and out. So yeah, that's kind of how the deals are. Yeah.
Did that hurt you when you're trying to make your own content for your own stuff?
It is tough. I will say that. But at the same time, it's a learning process for me. I'm not like that's stuff that I struggle with, to be honest with you, like video content and stuff, and being able to kind of see what they do and how they do it. On the long run, I think it'd be beneficial. Because yeah, these guys are kind of at that point where subscription sites are definitely big money now. Definitely.
I'm about to buy Joe's right now, I swear.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy how much. I mean, yeah, it's only $10 for Joe's, $20 for John Meadows, but enough people buy that, you're making a lot of money. And on top of that, the difference is the price point is so low that most people don't end up canceling it. Granted, I'm learning from them on how to kind of, it's a learning process for me too. So like now I look at Joe and I see from Joe's app is what makes him different is he has that trainer's corner. Cause yeah, everyone, Matt, he has one, John has one, Matt Jensen has one, JP has one. A lot of people have it, but what makes him stand out is he find out what he's good at. He's good at teaching trainers. He's good at teaching different things like moment arms and strength curves, this curves, like some in-depth knowledge that you usually only learn when you go to like an actual college. So stuff like that, that's his niche. Then you see what I see with John, what he's done he's brought in a lot of people to help contribute to his website. So he's brought in Dr. Serrano. He's brought in other smart people to contribute.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. So I'm learning certain things from them, and I get to ask them questions, and it's honestly like a mentorship. So, eventually I'm going to end up. That's going to be something I want to do. I didn't mention that I didn't mention that as one of the sources of income I want to eventually have, but eventually that's going to be something I want to do. But right now I'm happy.
Do you want to set up like your own app or like your own subscription-based service?
Yeah. Eventually, it's funny because people I got companies reaching out to me now about it, but I don't think I'm quite at that point where I could consistently put out good content. But I'm working on it. So like I'm building my knowledge right now. So I'm taking a course right now, precision nutrition. This will probably be I'll probably only take one more nutrition course. I got the book right here, Precision Nutrition.
Yeah.
But the only other nutrition course I'll probably take is the Polycom course up.
Wow.
And then train, because I already got like certifications a while back, but I will say for people, I will show it one more time. This precision nutrition course. If you want to be like an online coach or a coach in general, like this actually has some pretty good content on that. Whereas most certifications don't really talk about in depth on how to communicate with people and how to actually coach people online or in person and stuff like that. They just give you the basics, like this is what you need to know to be a trainer, but they don't tell you how to actually be a trainer. So
the precision nutrition one, because they just ran a sale when I was about to buy their program and I didn't because I thought the price would be a lot more affordable for me. But so you think that's a really good program from what you've experienced so far?
So
as far as like
teaching
cool.
you? Yeah, so far it's been really good. I'm still pretty new into it. Like honestly, I'm just in the coaching side right now. I haven't seen anything. Like the first unit's all their approach and how to coach people. The second part is like the nutrition, like the actual knowledge, educational stuff like nutrition and stuff like that. Then the third unit is about how to apply that nutrition to clients, which a lot of people don't do that either. They teach you like the concepts, but they don't teach you how to apply to different people like in depth. And I think I haven't gotten to it yet, but that's a really cool concept on how they do it.
So it's more than just, because isn't John like a macros kind of guy?
No, John gives me his food to eat, but he's cool with me changing stuff out. So that's why I could change out the cereal for English muffins and it wasn't a big deal. Or instead of chicken, I like to do turkey loins, stuff like that. He doesn't have an issue with at all. Yeah. But the only other course I'm going to take after this would be the RTS course, which is focused more on like training and stuff. And I just want to do nutrition stuff first because that's easier to apply to online training. Mm-hmm. And then RTS, I'll get that later. That's expensive. You say this is I don't know how much you pay, but I pay $100 a month right now, and it's at your own pace, so I can get this done. It's 20 chapters total. So if I could do one, I think 20 weeks is. They say it takes people usually a year. I don't think it should but I guess people are busy working. But
yeah, it might be like if you got a 9 to 5 and a family.
Yeah, but honestly, I think you could get a chapter done a week if you're really committed. And that's 20. That's only 20 weeks. That's 4 months. I think. Right? 5 months. Yeah.
Do you think the certifications are important in terms of like separating yourself from other online coaches? Because there's a lot of online coaches out there that like just go get like a basic just personal training cert, and then they online. They got an Instagram, they got a Bicep Bane, and they're like, "Hey, I can coach you for $50 a month. Let's go." And
so it depends. It really depends. So for me, honestly, man, it really wouldn't matter just because of like my bodybuilding career. I can it just is what it is. But I don't like to I'm I'm gonna say I'm not a piece of shit, so I don't like to take people's money just because they think I know what I'm doing. I'd rather actually know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So because a lot of pros out there, they just take the they give you their coach's diet or something like that. But
and they're really coaching off of just their name. Like
yeah,
when I follow you on social media, it's like you're always like learning something new. Whether it be from another coach or a course or like always working on something else, which is pretty cool. Whereas like other people, they're just regurgitating the same thing. Like,
yeah, they definitely are, man. Definitely. Well, it's the people who I consider mentors where, I don't know if a little bit, I got to meet John Meadows at a very, young, when I was very young at 21. Seeing him how smart he was, and then going to MI40. It's just the people I've been able to come in contact with, and I'm like, well, these people are actually brilliant. So like, they set the standard for me. You know what I mean? So like, but that's like, if I would have like trained under Ronnie, no offense to Ronnie Coleman, but if I probably would have trained under Ronnie, maybe I probably wouldn't have tried to learn as much as I have, just because I'm like, Ronnie was just a really straightforward guy. He's like, train hard and that's it. But learning from guys like, Joe Bennett, John Meadows, Ben Bukowski, even Matt was my coach. Matt was definitely, he was a little bit less into like the education part, but he still knew his stuff. He definitely read like studies and stuff like that. He still knew his stuff without a doubt. So all these guys in my corner, they just set a very high standard. So, but for the average person, I would say, definitely it's important to not so much for like just that say, oh, I have the cert, but when you open your mouth, that's when you start to separate yourself from other people with continuing your education.
Right. All right. Well, you changed my mind. Now I'm gonna sign up and get I'm gonna get that precision class.
I'll definitely
find out if you got an affiliate link. You gotta ask them for an affiliate link.
Yeah. So I think, man, like if you're really good, man, you may spend up, like if you can get it, even if you put enough time in it, you do, let's say, even if you did, because I've only done 2 chapters and right now, I'm not very far into it, but I could honestly, if I wasn't so busy with the thing, like people, I actually have less time right now because everyone's coming to me with like, oh, I need to change my workout. So it's like I'm having completely new clients. All those 50 people were completely new. I had to completely change their workouts. And so that took a lot of time these past few weeks. So, but if in my normal schedule, I could probably knock out maybe two chapters a week, and that would be just 10 weeks. So you would end up paying you're paying them $300 total for this cert,
Yeah. I signed up for the MI40 muscle hypertrophy or muscle intelligence one, and I signed up for are you familiar with, I'm gonna forget to do his name. He runs Team Evil GSP.
No, I know about so I will say too, I've never been on the online course for the muscle intelligence thing, but the in-person thing was like some of the best stuff I've learned. I get most of my knowledge, my training knowledge from that.
I'm gonna fly down there and go to to one of the week-long ones.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it this year, but the corona kind of messed it up again.
So with your coaching business, how do you manage motivation when you're not in the same room as somebody? Because for a lot of people, like they go to an in-person coach to be like, because they want somebody on their ass to get stuff done. Like, how do you manage that when you're not there?
So the thing is, it's cool. I'm lucky because I attract people. Typically, I attract people who are pretty motivated. But on occasion, I do have people who aren't quite there. And man, I've gotten better at it. And in the beginning, like I was like, yo, it's all you. You figure it out. But, as I get older, I'm starting to learn coaching. It's not just giving someone a diet and like shooing them away. It's actually, being there for stuff like you just said. It is a bit of like it definitely is a mental component to it as well. And Basically, man, I would say like it really depends on the situation, but I always have people, you know, when they sign up, it's the same stuff you do as a personal trainer. When they sign up, you ask them what the goal is. And then you know, when I'm trying to think of anyone who kind of been lacking motivation. I actually have a guy. He's actually up in that area too. My first client, he's been having some troubles right now with this coronavirus going on. And in his situation, he was kind of feeling down because he's like, yo, my show got canceled. I don't feel like, you know, I don't really know what I'm doing. And he's like, he's lacked motivation to train. And I was like, well, man, I just see it as like this. So first of all, like, yeah, you can do your show, but at the same time, that gives you more time to be better. You know, like, I'm like, you still have, you're not feel easy. You still have things you can improve on. So yeah, that was your goal now, but it's time to change your goal. So yeah, you go from like competition, and this applies to anyone in all season to, okay, so you have physique goals, you know, and on top of that, you can also have, you know, training goals. So like, I want to get, which is progressive overload, and, you know, which I follow to a T. So each week you're trying to beat those numbers you beat last week. That can be goals, you know? So, I kind of put them in that mind frame. And then also I said, yeah. So I told him, I was like, well, you could either take this approach to, like, let's say another guy's in the same situation. He just sitting on his ass doing nothing. You can either be like that guy, or you can be training right now, and then you'll be ahead of that guy, you know, come time when you guys compete again, you know? So It really depends on the situation. I don't have like a specific approach. I like to remind people of what they really want in life, you know? And if they really want something, like, well, you know, it's your job to make it happen. Like, and I never tell someone to do something. I'm like, it's your choice, man. Like, I just give them an option. Like, do you want to be average, or do you want to, you know, excel?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that usually helps a lot of people, man. Yeah.
Okay. And then, I guess more towards the business of things, have you thought about, you know, putting on your own show in the future?
I actually have, man. But the more I find out, man, the more I find that, like, these shows they don't make a ton of money, to be honest with you. I mean, if you think about it, look at the Olympia. If the Olympia was doing well, why would they have sold it? You know what I mean?
Right. But I'm saying, like, earlier on, you were talking about you wanted to make, you know, shows more of an experience, so like a cinematic experience and all that stuff. That'd probably be the only opportunity you get to make that sort of precedent, so that people could be like, oh, I want my next show to be like how Ruff Diesel show was.
No, I still want to do one. I definitely would need some help, because I'm not taking that lightly whatsoever. I can definitely see that being a big undertaking, a huge undertaking. And I would definitely need like someone to help me with that, a mentor or something. And which I may actually have found watching an interview the other day. But yeah, I may reach out to him and see what he says. But yeah. I definitely still want to do one. I was actually looking into doing one this year, but this year, when I'm looking at it now, even if the coronavirus wouldn't happen, this year wouldn't have been a good year. I think maybe in another year or two I can do one. I see some young guys doing it quick, but then at the same time, I see these guys, they don't travel that often. Like Regan, like, I feel like, honestly, like, I'm not trying to brag, but I do a lot more traveling than a lot of pros out here, you know. Like I said, like, a lot of pros, you don't see travel as much as I do. Even
sport.
Yeah. So I like meeting fans, man. I like giving back. Cause I don't, like, sometimes I do make a decent, I don't make a ton of money from traveling, you know, doing seminars. I make, you know, yeah. So, I do travel a lot. Cause I find that's the best way for me to build my brand. I'm not the best on social media, but when I meet people in person, I'm a lot better at that. So, it is what it is.
Because you talk a lot about being an introvert. So, like, how do you balance being, like, being an introvert, but then going out and traveling and meeting so many people?
So like, I think, so like in the past, like, I think, so what I consider an introvert is, in the past, I was like, I think when, let me see how I got it. So as an introvert, I think you trying to figure out a good way to say this. Okay. As a kid, I'm an introvert. I think as a kid, you're an introvert. And one thing you have to deal with, like with being an introvert, you're shy 9 times out of 10. But as you get older, you can still you can still be an introvert. But now I'm not shy at all. I can talk to people, but at the same time, I still like being in my own space. I like being, at home and all that. But I don't mind spurts of getting out and meeting fans. Literally, it's a couple hours. That's not anything. So yes, I'm an introvert, but at the same time, I know I've learned how to speak to people over the years, and that was a learning process too. I remember some of my first interviews, some of the first like appearances I made. I was really bad at it. Yeah, I still think I'm an introvert, but I've learned how to speak and I've learned how to interact with people. But yeah, you still won't see me going out all the time, hanging out with people or being like the life of the party or anything like that, But yeah, I can get it done that way. Yeah.
Which is a good thing because it keep you out of the bodybuilding drama and all the other stuff that goes on.
Yeah, man. Yo, everybody know everybody business, man. It's crazy.
You must have got some stories because you laughed hard on that one. you must know something.
Man, I was
heard
just
some
dealing
stuff
with this, man. Yeah, I was just dealing with learning all of this stuff, man. Yeah, learning like, yeah, man. There's a lot of drama out there, man. And even if you try to stay out of it, man, people are always digging, trying to get into your business and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a lot of beef in between the competitors?
You know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you. It is some competitors out there that do. Some people, even some of my peers, that actually are on. Like I help with, with a lot of different stuff. I find out they, going, behind my back, telling my business to other people. Stuff that shouldn't even concern them. And it hurt. It honestly hurt, man. It still bothers me, But like I said, I was watching the Kevin Hart video, and he just, the same thing, the same shit everyone talks about, man. Keep your circle small. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm a country boy. I grew up in a town of 400 people, and so a lot of stuff. It's I'm a little naive to a lot of stuff. So, it's just a learning process. I shouldn't like, even if he's my peer, we're not friends. We'd say, I don't talk to him every other day. So I shouldn't expect anything from him at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, so that's the way I kind of have to look at it. Yeah. And then, like, I could go back and do something or do anything and go back and forth. But at the end of the day, like I said, he don't owe me nothing. I don't owe him nothing. So let me just move on and focus on what I need to focus on, So, but yeah, even outside of pros, man, like I have like just random people, man, just and they never come to me. They come to like either like the girl I was dating at the time. They would say she told me the other day someone said some really hateful stuff, man, just about me, like really, really hateful stuff about me, and saying her parents would be ashamed that she was dating a black guy and stuff like that.
Oh, God, so, damn.
Yeah, but like they don't come to me. They don't. I almost never get any type of hate to me. It's always people around me that get it, and it sucks, man, that they have to deal with it instead of myself. Like I'll be fine with dealing with it. It is what it is. But there's something out of my control. I can't stop people from contacting them. You know what I mean? So
this sport, you gotta really be mentally strong, man.
You say what?
This sport, you really got to be mentally strong. The stuff that people don't get to hear, see behind the scenes. Not to mention, as a competitor, the backlash of people's opinions and learn about people's opinions, how they think about you, how they view you. You just got to live life. What other people think about you is none of your business, and you just got to keep it moving.
You're 100% right, man. Yeah, you get caught up in that stuff, man, and it just slows you down from your own grind, man. 100%, man.
Even though it do get draining at sometimes, but still.
Yeah, yeah. And I had some people reach out to me, man, that helped me out, said some nice stuff. Again, I was talking about Sid Gilline. She's awesome, man. I've been a fan of hers even before I was pro, and then we kind of became cool. And she's always been a good person. So there's still good people out there, man. You just have to be careful. You know what I mean?
Does it make you feel sometimes like when some bad stuff like that happens, you're like, man, I just want to disappear. Like, I don't want to be on Instagram or any of this social media. I just want to show up for the competition, and then y'all leave me alone the rest of the year.
Yeah, man, I was definitely feeling like that for a while. Just didn't want to let anybody in, didn't want to talk to anybody because I was just kind of tired. Like, I had even, yeah, man, a lot of people like they kind of took advantage of my trust, you know, and it just kind of, well, I don't think it did. It affected me really, really bad, man. And but I just had to kind of sit down and think, like, okay, don't lose who I am because of other people. And then on top of that, you know, you do have good people in your life. You know, just focus on the good people you have. And if someone new comes in your life, you know, you keep them at a distance for a while. You learn about who they are, and if you know, and then you make your assessment from that, and just kind of slow that process down a bit. You know, because at the end of the day, man, like I get it. Like I got a lot of followers online and this and that, but at the end of the day, you know, I still feel like a normal person. Like I still live in like a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm not in a mansion. I'm not like a superstar or anything, in my opinion. You know, I'm just not getting to the point where I'm making a decent amount of money. You know, I did another interview with Fuad, and I was like, yo, I had, like I said, I got divorced. I was broke. That was just a year and a half ago, man, where I was like literally like struggling like hard, you know? So no, I forget, like, to a lot of people, I am like this big thing. And I don't know. So that's something I kind of have to just accept now, you know, even if, you know, I don't think it, I don't know. Yeah, something I just got to accept.
Rob you from your humanity, man.
Yeah.
You say what?
It kind of like rob you from your humanity. People forget you're human.
Yeah, man. So it is what it is, man. It is. And I can't, like, even like I still don't think like I'm all that big of a name, but I can't imagine how, you know, even like, let's say even like Brandon, but even more like superstars have to deal with stuff like that. But yeah, man,
so, it was a couple years back. Phil Heath was going back and forth with people online, and at the time I was like, "Oh, he can't do that." But you know, he is a person too. When people be throwing him a lot, or were throwing him a lot of flack, so I get it. I mean, you're still a human.
You are, man. You are, and then people, you know, and I get like, oh, you're in this position, you're supposed to act a certain way, but that still don't change that you're a person. And that should mean, man, people get to say whatever they want against you, man. You know?
Exactly.
You know, so
people get real bold on the internet.
The platform and the internet and social media make people feel like they own part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is. It's like they feel like they own part of you as being a fan, and then that's where the negativity comes from, because they're like, well, I just do all of this stuff because they're really jealous and they want a piece of you. It's sick like that.
It is, man. It is. That's really good. Yeah, they do. They feel like they're entitled. They feel like they own you. They feel like they're entitled to a piece of you. That's a good point. But at the end of the day, yeah, they don't. Yeah, you're right. That's a really good way of saying it. Yeah.
Like even to get you on the interview, right? Like I remember I DM'd you a couple times, but I'm like thinking in my head, I was like, he doesn't have like any obligation to respond to me. Like, and I feel like certain people feel like it, you know, if they reach out to you, that, oh, why didn't he respond to me? Like,
yeah,
I know you got a whole other life.
Sure.
I know you got a whole other life.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. So, you know, everything's a learning, man. I'm trying to get better, you know, better at this thing. you know, the worst part is, man, with bodybuilding, man, it's not a lot. It was like, I keep going back to this because I just watched this Kevin thing. He had a mentor like the whole time. But bodybuilders, there's not many mentors or people out there willing to teach new and young bodybuilders anything, man. It is it's very rare. It's very rare for that to happen.
Because we taught them
well, that's the void that you can fill.
Yeah, I try, man. I try my best. Like I talk about stuff when I can. You know, anytime. Like even like with that guy that did kind of go behind my back. I did my best to tell him certain things and stuff about the sport. You know, so I do my best. I guess I could always be doing more, but if anytime if a pro reached out to me and asked me a question about something, I would let them know.
I mean, that could be your content for your own, brand, for your own site, for your own like YouTube or something. Like actual telling up and coming guys like what it's really like. Because you're right, that is not out there at all.
No,
I think people need that a little bit more.
Themselves. Yeah. And then the thing is too, man, so like it's and I kind of get it too, because one, a lot of these pros, they're so focused on themselves and they don't even want the next guy to come up. They trying to keep they legacy going,
Right.
So there's that. But then on top of that, man, like it's way different than what it was. Even I guess it's 20 years ago now. 20 years, like social media changed bodybuilding completely. So a lot of us now coming up, what we experience is way different, than what guys like some of the guys retiring are experiencing, and what they're used to,
Right.
So, yeah. So it's a whole different thing. So I guess. So like a lot of questions I would have would be a little bit tougher to answer for a lot of those guys. But at the same time, I still think it should be something out there. And it's funny, like this is like what I don't like about bodybuilding either is like the IFBB in general should have some like PR person or something out there to help pros out or with something at least, that's
like an onboarding process.
Yeah, like okay, this is what this is. Even though life doesn't change all that much when you first become pro, but like maybe after you win a pro show, someone reaches out to you like, hey, these are some things you should kind of start thinking about, or but everything in bodybuilding is self-promotion, which kind of, in my opinion, hurts bodybuilding. If you look at other sports, NBA, MMA, they promote their athletes very, very well. That's why they build up personas. They build up the Conor McGregors. Boxing builds up Mayweathers, and you don't really see that. You don't really see that in bodybuilding. And they used to do that actually. They used to do that back in the day.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah. They used to build people up, and I guess it was easier too because it was just magazines, so it was easier to kind of. So that's what I'm saying. It's a tough thing right now with our everything,
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure to have you on, and man, I hope that you would look at us when we slide in the DMs again, so we can do another one. But man, this was great.
We could have talked for a whole another like 2 hours. I feel like, man, damn.
We'll definitely need to get you back on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We are super appreciative. All our fans, all our viewers are going to be super appreciative of all the info that you dropped. And this was great, man. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you at the O and making, a huge splash. I definitely got you in the top 5 for sure. I think you could be top 3. That's my prediction.
I won't disappoint, man.
That's what's up. All right, Fat Podcast. We out.